Hello everyone and welcome back to the garden. So this is my monthly tour. Each month I basically do a tour of the garden and show you guys what's doing really well, what's struggling, and any kind of like future plans for, coming up for the next year, and also a little bit about what the weather's been doing and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's go and have a look around the garden. So here we are at the gate to the back garden. Now all of these two phoenix palms either side of the gate here, and all these other plants, they've had some fleece thrown over them because the last kind of week we've been down to about -2, -3 here in the south of England, and it just offers just a little bit of extra protection for these palms and agaves, and it just helps to keep a little bit of the water off them as well. So as you come into the main bit of the back garden here, so been doing a little bit of tidying up, trying to net leaves out the pond, and I've also moved quite a few plants to the greenhouse now. There's a few plants that have stayed out. So I've got a pseudopanax here. You see it's got a little bit of frost damage just on the newest growth there, but the rest of it's absolutely fine. And that had no protection at all other than the fact it was sort of hidden in this corner. Another type of pseudopanax here, and this one definitely has fared a little better on there. Now, as you may have seen in previous videos, I've got these couple of these Washingtonia robusta palms. Now these are near the back patio at the moment just because they're easier to sack trolley into the garage on the coldest of nights. They were out one night which went down to about -1, possibly -2. They're not showing any foliage damage at all yet, but generally with palms you can get delayed reaction to extreme cold. So all of this stuff has stayed out so far all through that frost, and no real damage to anything there. Then the Norwegian maple is just starting to drop its leaves now that we've had the frost, but the sycamore at the back of the garden now on the right hand side has already dropped its leaves a while ago. Now what I have been doing through this walkway is I've just trimmed a load of the plants off of the pathway to try and enable maximum light into this area, because as the light levels drop in the winter, this path can become quite muddy. Had a net over, or this piece of mesh over the pond here just to stop the worst of the leaves falling in there, and you'll see that there is a upside down pot that is protecting the gunnera. Now these tetrapanax here, they've had no fleece or anything put over them. This one is in a sort of slightly sheltered location, so it's not got too badly hit by the frost, just the leaves slightly. So it'd be interesting to see whether they turn totally black and disappear. A lot of the grasses in the garden are starting to die right back. I will leave these up at the moment because they look quite architectural, but eventually the leaves start to come off and they blow all over the garden, and it generally looks very untidy. Just a quick look in here. So this is the Butiagris erythpatha. This has been inside the special enclosures that I've built, and so far, I mean, that's been down. It did have the front on there, and that's been down to the -2 just with the cover on there. Now, okay, as we walk down here back towards the patio area, generally this time of year I blow the patios off, get all the leaves off so that they're not slippery, and that generally works pretty well. I have put quite a few Christmas decorations out. We put these reindeers out which light up every year, and all these sort of blue boxes and things are just to protect all the electrics. Now in the arid section here, not a lot really happens this time of year other than blowing out leaves and things like that. I don't trim any of these plants, I literally just leave them to do their thing. It's a better view actually of the palm here. Looking good. Now the back border, since we've had the frost, the bananas, the musabajus have sort of defoliated. They all went very sort of brown and crispy. So I've chopped all the leaves off of those, and you'll see they're wrapped in membrane and fleece and things like that to keep the stems from being too frosted on there. The Bahar Marta has been looking pretty good. It's still sunk in the ground in its pot just in case there's an emergency and I need to get it into a covered area because of extreme cold. But I think we're going to be all right on that one. You can see that the ricinus there has been frosted off. It's starting to go quite limp. And here we have another Washingtonia robusta, which is so far looking good. And I just literally put this front, I just screw it onto the front here just to protect it, and it means I don't have to put it inside. Now a quick look down here. So this is a bit more sheltered, this area. You can see that a lot of these persicarias, they frosted off, but I did have a piece of fleece that I just laid over the top on the coldest of nights. Have a quick look in the greenhouse. So here we go. So we do have a heater in here, but it's not on at the moment. And even when it went -2, it was about +2 outside. And you can see in here that the colocasias and things like that, they still got the leaves. There's zero frost in here whatsoever. And yeah, so that's just looking after everything there. As we come back around the corner here, you see there's another musabaju that's been chopped back. At this time of year, this area, because obviously you lose the height of the banana there, the Butia odorata really looks pretty good, and also the bog standard Trachycarpus fortunei next to it is a nice contrast. And had to wood chip the chickens the other day because it was so muddy in there. You see I've started to chop back some herbaceous. Most of this stuff actually stays out and always looks really good. Now I will be doing a video probably in a couple of weeks time. So in this location here is where the Washingtonia robusta usually is, but I am trying a different type of palm in this location next year. I did think of maybe putting a Phoenix canariensis here, but it would ultimately get absolutely massive and it would swamp everything kind of around it. So in this location is going to go a Brahar, I think it's Adonis or something. It's the green variant of Amata. So it's a more bushy kind of palm, but with green kind of leaves with a slight silver underneath them. And that's going to be basically initially in a pot in this location and then eventually in the ground. Should get away with that one. A lot of people have said that it easily goes down to -6.5, and to be honest, that's the bottom limit of what my temperatures get here, so we should be good on that one. Obviously as time goes on as well, the Trachycarpus fortunei next to it will sort of tower above it and offer a little bit of overhead protection. Now, you may have seen in other videos, I am putting in a path here just behind the pond area, and just to basically solve the muddy path situation that I had going on. And at the moment, the slabs have all been laid with the cement underneath. It just needs to basically settle, go hard, and then the all the pointing has got to be done in there. And you can see how it links to the existing patio there at the back and the arbor. And you can see a lot of my kind of fleece and things laying around ready for the cold nights. And ultimately, this is the fire pit area again. See where it's got a bit muddy where I've been doing the work. And we've got the tree ferns, which at the moment haven't had any protection, but they will have a ball of fleece put in them on the colder nights. I'm really liking these 3 here. I think planted in 3, they look absolutely fantastic. Now, the mind your own business plant here, slight singeing with the frost and stuff, but ultimately still looking fine. I did wonder actually how that would perform in a frost, because that is a new plant in my garden this year. This is the biggest group of Musabashius, which are absolutely huge here. So they are wrapped to a certain limit, and then ultimately if the top frosts off, then yeah, it will obviously reduce in height on there. But it's a bit of an experiment this year. I'm leaving those like that just to see how they get on. So the construction of the path still got a little bit more work to do on that, but it's looking good and it's solving the issue. Over here, my irrigation timers and everything, they are in the garage now because I don't want those to frost off. So that's good to get those in. So that's the tour of the back garden. So let's go and have a look at the front. Okay, so we're now back at the side of the house again, and we are now looking down the front garden towards the road at the front. We've got Christmas lights up all around. So in the front garden, I was thinking, so we've got like a hawthorn kind of tree here. We do have this location underneath here where potentially I could plant something that will grow quite big and tall and maybe take over from this particular tree later on, but we will see on that one. This time of year, basically, hedges are all cut last month and there won't be really any growth on those this year, certainly until the spring, so don't have to worry about cutting those. Pleased to say that the brand new Cerifera palm here is looking really good. It's settled in nicely and I'm really pleased with it in this location just under the window here, and it basically sort of goes well with the Camerops humidis volcano, which is on the other side of the door here. Now you see cannas have all kind of frosted off, but it's interesting to see that just in the back here how these leaves haven't been frosted, so it shows actually where it's warm against the house. So these Trachycarpus palms, they're princeps, basically princeps hybrids, the couple in here, and I usually just throw a little bit of fleece over those on the coldest of nights. Everything else in the bed, all the cord lines are looking good. Now I did use a trick of using a cable tie, and you basically just pull up the cord lines to protect them on the coldest of nights, and they're looking good. Zoom out a little bit. It's our big Christmas tree in the centre of the knot garden, and I put out this stag which lights up again with the Christmas tree. So let's have a look in the front garden and see how things are doing. So no damage at all on the Camrox palms, they're looking really good. Again, cannas are doing what they do at this time of year. Bit mixed with the tetrapanax. You see here that some of the leaves have got frosted and others not too bad. More Persicaria has been cut down. The recovery on this yucca has been amazing. It was just last year, it was when it basically went in, it defoliated, and then this was this little side shoot that was coming off the main stem, and that has really filled out nicely. We've got some Musa, I think Bengal tigers, so these are looking good so far, but I do need to put something over the top of these on the coldest of nights. Not sure whether this cordyline is going to survive. It did have a bit of a rotten stem, so it has been propped up there. The one next to it is doing okay, and that one may take over from it if this one does totally die off. Now the gap here is for the colocasia, which will go in the spring next year. Now, out of all the Camrox palms, this one seems to have struggled quite a lot. So it's got quite a lot of black spotting on the older leaves, but the newer leaves beneath, you can see there, are looking nice and green. So I think eventually as that grows and those other leaves get chopped off, they will basically, the plant will basically be fine. This grass frosted off a little bit, but it will get chopped down anyway, so that will go probably totally brown soon. There's going to be some changes. There's in this location here, I'm looking at putting a Musa Baju probably in that location, just to add height, but that's not totally confirmed yet. You can see the Xanthidescia. We've got some droopy leaves, the poor flower stem, which looks like a piece of tissue. And the one further down, you can see that there was a flower coming up, or multiple flowers. But even in a -2 frost, yes, a lot of the leaves are starting to go because they are damaged, but the stems have retained some rigidity, which is good. This corner I'm really liking. This is with the phormiums, the nice coloured phormiums here, pinks and things, and then we have a Trachycarpus, which is the waggy version, and this one's put out new leaves and is growing really, really well, getting some height. The Boutia here as well, settled in really nicely, and really pleased with how that's looking. Now with the archway, these were put in a couple of months ago, I think it is now, and Tracheospernum jasminoides, they're supposed to be the same plant, but one's gone really red and one's gone green, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. So this front bed looking nice. You see the ace has now dropped all its leaves to reveal a bird's nest. Maybe some tweaking in this area next year. I might take the rose out. There's a bit of space in there, but we'll have to see. Panning round, so the Phoenix canariensis is in its kind of little hidey hole here, protected from the worst of the frost. I'm quite optimistic because it's under a yew tree as well, so that will really, really help. This is another area I may tweak next year. we've got this palm here, which may move. It's a very attractive palm though. But I was thinking maybe in the back of putting the Washingtonian Robusta. Although it's a slightly dark corner, it is really well protected from the frost. So it's going to have a lot of overhead protection, and then I can lift these branches if I need to. So it'd be interesting to see. We've got a thermometer in this location, so it'd be interesting to see what temperatures it records here. So that's essentially the front garden and how it's looking in mid-November. Just go to this last border here. Got some nice coloured wood on the cornice, really bright on there, and the tetrapanax again. So this is in the middle of the garden, so this has had the most amount of frost. And you can see the stems are looking really, really chunky, but the leaves are looking quite limp from that cold spell that we've just had. It's now 13 degrees. It's gone really mild. We've had a lot of rain. Yesterday it rained basically nearly all day, and today we had a little bit of rain in the morning and then it went over, and then that was it really. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this little tour. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will produce a video pretty much every week so you can see the updates of how things are going down here in the south of the UK. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.